What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down 3 ways to run a dig route, okay? So we're going to be talking about a common way and then 2 ways that can really get you some separation when you're in a man coverage situation and you got to run a dig even with an outside release or an inside release, okay? So I hope this video gives you guys some value, helps you out with some of the technical things that you could do to become a better route runner. And guys, I just dropped a new batch of merchandise, so we got new hoodies, we got new gym shorts, we got a lightweight hoodie that says Can't Guard Me, new First Down Training merch, Wide Receiver 1 merch, and QB1 merch. Check out that very first link in the description. Takes you to my website where we got all of our new merch that we just dropped this year. Hope you guys can pick some up and support the brand. Really appreciate it. Let's get started. So first things first, here we're going to be talking about this snap down technique right here, right? So the 3 ways that we're going to cover is the snap down, a square cut, and then a fake throw by, okay? So the next 2 after this one, this is probably the basic one that you guys can get into. I know a lot of guys run a dig off of like this one heavy indicator cutter, like this grown man plant, right, as some people call it. But the thing about this one is this helps you sell vertical a little bit longer, doesn't let you drift way off of the dig. So let's watch this thing full speed, then we'll break it down. See how Landry's here, he snaps it off, runs this thing, and he's taking this with an inside release on a dig, right? So this release, he got Sherman, I know we don't show the release, but he got Sherman off his platform, jumping out to the outside, and then he's able to work to restack. Now, normally on a dig route, I would like to hit him if I'm in a man coverage situation where he's trailing my back hip, I would like to hit him with something maybe like a rocker step, so that would work, or like a square cut. But in this situation, this works too, as long as I'm out of it quickly, as long as I don't take too much time at the top of the break. So you see how he's here and he snaps it off, right? He snaps with his outside leg, so he's getting up to the depth of the route and he's here. The whole goal at this stem, right? Because there's 3 phases to every route. You got the stem, you got the break point, then you got the acceleration out of there, right? So the stem, it's all about selling vertical and trying to make this DB believe fade. So I'm trying to get him to turn his hips, trying to get him to run with me, try to make him think that I'm trying to restack, beat him over the top, so he's thinking vertical the whole time. Now, what comes to the second part of the route, that break point, especially on a dig, is I got to be violent with my hips and I got to break down, right? So I got to make sure that I drop, I got to make sure that I'm explosive, and that explosion turns to acceleration. So you see how he gets to the top of this break here and he's violent with those hips, and you see how he drops down, his chin goes to his knee, his chest is going forward, he's not leaning back. So many people, when they snap down, right, when they use that trigger step like what I'm talking about right now, is they'll lean back, they'll put their chest up in the air, they're on their heels and they try to turn. You want to run out of this break. You want to create energy and you want to run straight down that 90 degree. And how I'm able to do that is when I snap down, I get my chest down, right? Now, his second step is probably the most important step, because it's easy after you do it for a while to get used to running full speed and snapping in stride. You just got to rep it. It just takes time working specific drills for that. But the second step is what gets your hips down this 90 degree angle, right? So you see how he snaps here, he pivots on the second step, right? And that second step pivots, right? The pivot brings his hips, and the pivot can bring your hips, and the third step hooks around because that's your drive leg. Now you're driving off of this leg, you got into a low explosive position, the pivot got your hips there, the third leg is really serving as like a push step, so you're going to push, and that's what turns that energy that you created with your hips into acceleration if you pump these arms, right? So it's about snapping, pivoting, hooking the third leg around. It's not like a 45 break where you got to hook all the way and you got to pivot all the way. It's a 90 break. So you snap, pivot, hook around, and you push off of that leg. Make sure you're pumping those arms so you can widen the distance, because again, it is a race to this spot. As soon as the DB sees you drop his hips, as soon as the DB sees you get into this break, he's going to be running full speed. Oh shit, I got to recover. I got to go make a play on this ball. So I got to pump my arms and go and run out of this thing and make this catch. It's a race to this spot, fellas. And if I don't win that race, I will lose every single route, right? If you guys come off of this break and you start jogging, you pop yourself up and you're cruising, you think you got him because you got him off the line or you got a little separation at the top, the DB will recover. They work those situations. That's what a DB works on. They work on recovery speed. They work on being able to get out of their breaks, reacting off of us, right? That's what DBs specialize in. So we got to make sure that I don't give him any opportunity to win, right? If I do everything right, the DB should not win. It's not about what they do right. It's about what we do wrong. So I get into this thing, create energy with my hips. I drop down. I shoot this thing out. I pump my arms and I run, widen the gap, win the race to the ball. DB has no chance to recover this. Watch the thing again, full speed one more time. He just snaps it off. Make sure we're pumping those arms out of the break. Great route. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this square cut here. So this is something you could use on a dig when you restack, okay? Especially with an outside release on a dig, right? So let's watch the thing full speed. So he restacks here and goes 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So he gives this little square cut at the top. The throw's overthrown. This is an incomplete ball, but we got separation. Good ball from the quarterback, and we're good. This is a touchdown, right? So you see when he comes off of here, when you guys take an outside release on a dig, you guys just got to make sure that you have a plan, number one, right? So we're discussing 3 ways today to run a dig, but that doesn't mean these are the only 3 ways that you can run a dig, right? These are just 3 specific ways that we're going to focus on today because I want to give you guys too much information all at once. We're focused on 3 ways, but if you're in this situation and you take an outside release on a dig, and let's say this DB plays it well, let's say he's hip to hip with you, let's say he's running, we don't actually work to restack, let's say he's keeping good, he's keeping up with me, he's got good speed, and he's got hands on me, what's something I could do? I could work a throw-by technique, right? So I would swat with my right arm. In this case, I would swat his right shoulder or his right hip and then cut back underneath him if he plays this well. But if I'm able to restack and get over the top, then I got to have a plan, right? A lot of times playing receiver, it's not about just, okay, I'm going to do this one thing off the line. If it doesn't work, I'm screwed. It's, okay, this is my plan. If the DB takes it away, what's a reactionary plan that I could have that's quick, that could get me out on time? I don't take too long. Because a lot of people can react mid-route, but they take too long. They take too many steps. They try to do too much with their hands. Very important that you have a plan and then a reactionary plan. I'm coming off, okay, I know if he takes this away, or like, let's say off the line, for example, let's say, yeah, he's a little bit inside shade. Let's say maybe on the snap of the ball, he shoots outside. Let's say he shoots outside right here. And I try to set him up. Maybe I just take the inside release. I give him a hard cut and then I go, right? So you guys got to always have that reactionary plan. That's when you guys are working, when you guys are in the offseason, you're working with coach, you're working with your team, whoever, working one-on-ones. You always got to have that plan based on pre-snap and then, okay, well, what if he takes this away? And it's got to be muscle memory. It's got to be a habit where you just react that way. That's what we're trying to focus on here. That's why we learn so many different techniques, so many different videos, because you got to have all those tools in your tool belt. And if you have those tools in your tool belt to use, there's not a situation that you're not prepared for. Walking into a game, you should probably have about 5-6 different things that you want to work. You stick with those, and those 5-6 different things can work on those different situations that we talk about, right? So that's enough of that. So now, how we run this dig, again, with the square cut, is that you want to make it 4, right? So a square. How many corners are there in a square? There's 4, right? So it's going to be 4 steps. That's the way at least I teach it. Obviously, there are situations where it's a little bit different, right? Where maybe you can't cut on the specific leg, but you see when KJ Hill he goes 1, so he goes right, left, right, left. And it's 4 steps, right? So the first 2 steps serve to decelerate you. Then the second 2 steps serve to throw your body to the outside, because we're trying to sell what? I'm trying to sell an out route. I'm trying to sell like I'm just breaking down, snapping down, just like the last break we did, right? With Jarvis Landry, where he just snapped and he went snap, pivot, hook. Now this is like a square cut. We're trying to sell that he's just going 1, 2, 3 and breaking off of this right leg, running an out route. So it's real important that when you guys use a square cut on a dig, or if it's against zone or off man, when you're attacking a safety or you're attacking a DB who's off man, maybe from the outside, you got to snap down on those first 2 steps to decelerate you, and you got to throw your body out wide, because if you don't sell with your upper half and you don't actually sell with your hips, because look where the DB's looking. Where are those DB's eyes? His eyes are right on those hips. So if I don't sell with my hips and I don't throw my upper half to the outside, I'm not going to be able to get separation. A lot of people will give a little head lean, but they're not throwing their body. You want to throw your body, you want to cut off of this leg, and you want to make sure that you drive out of there. And again, pumping those arms. We got to win the race back to the ball. Ball's overthrown. Obviously, it's incomplete. That's a great job getting separation. And this kind of separation, especially in the red zone, I apologize. This kind of separation, especially in the red zone, is a lot of separation, fellas. That's what we need to be focused on getting. Let's watch the thing again, full speed one more time. Great job using this square cut. Coming off the line here. Restack 1, 2, 3, 4. Throw my upper half and make sure I accelerate off this break. Okay, so now we're going to be looking at this fake throw by. Okay, so the fake throw by kind of sells like we're running it out as well. Like we're taking an inside release on an out route. Okay, so what's something you do on an inside release on an out route? If this DB, again, he's a little bit outside shade, so maybe I want to sell like I'm running out. Now, here's the thing. DB probably should be a little bit smarter in this case. Reason being is look where we're at on the field, right? So this is something that maybe you guys don't want to do, because I think a good DB would pick this up. It's still a great use of the technique, but I want to address this. We're on the bottom of the numbers. Ain't no receiver going to run an out route on the bottom of the numbers. You know what I mean? That's an impossible throw for the quarterback almost. Maybe a stop route, you know what I mean? Maybe you'll run a stop route, or maybe probably not a comeback even, because there's just not enough room for this quarterback to work. That's a very, very tough throw to make. So I'm thinking as a DB, I probably I would go inside shade right now if it's man coverage, right? I don't know the situation that they're working exactly, right? But like if they're giving me this much room, probably can anticipate that it's either going to be either a fade if they do go outside, or it's going to be an inside breaking route, right? So that's what I would anticipate as a DB here. So this technique kind of, I think DB could have been a little bit smarter in this case, but it's still a great use of the technique. So you see how he comes off here, sets him up to the outside, fakes the throw by, gives him a little head fake there, and then accelerates back over the middle, right? So now, this fake throw by, it's kind of the same idea as the square cut. You're taking, it should be, so he's going one, snapping on the outside leg right here, and you see as he's snapping with this leg, that's when he's throwing this guy by. Trying to sell what? Trying to sell like I'm running an inside release on an out route. I got this DB to turn his hips. I got him to think vertical. I want to think swap by, get to the blind spot, and make a move, because what we want to ultimately force is a speed turn out of this guy. I want him to think, oh shit, I got beat on an out route, and he's got a speed turn, then we're not there. But we want to work to this what? We want to work to this blind spot. So you see how he swats him by, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you see how he gives this little head fake to the outside? And where's he at right now? He's giving this head fake to this blind spot. This DB doesn't quite speed turn all the way out of there, but he hesitates, right? And when he hesitates, and even if or we force a speed turn, or we force a slow open up, and this open up right here with his hips, that's very slow, right? The speed turn would be faster. So when he opens up like that, he hesitates, and then what can I do? I use that explosion off the cut so like the way we would teach it is you snap 1, 2, 3, right? So it could be 3 steps or it could be 4 steps. You snap the inside leg to right, left, and you throw to the outside, and it's 4 steps, right? Now, here's the deal. This is kind of a longer developing move, so you maybe don't want to use this when you're the first read on this play, right? So, like, let's say the quarterback, you're the first read. It's a first window throw. It's not a second window throw. Quarterback's got to get it out right now. Maybe I don't want to use this. Maybe I give him something a little bit different. Maybe I give him a little head fake. I give a little lean into him, and I go. So you guys got to also know the situation that we're in when we do these moves, okay? But we don't want to take too long at the top of the break. That's why I would say you want to take about 3 steps, fake this throw by, give him a little head and shoulder fake to that blind spot, get him to sit to the outside. Now, what can I do? I want to drive off of that cut. I got to win the race to the ball. I got to pump my arms and continue to widen the distance. I got to continue to widen the gap with this DB so I can make a play. Great route right here. Let's watch it again full speed one more time. So great job working him off that platform, taking an inside release, faking this out route, head and shoulder fake, then pump those arms and accelerate off the break. Great route. All right, guys, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Again, if you want some of my new merch, check out that link in the description, guys. Would really appreciate the support to the brand. We ship worldwide, so wherever you guys are located, we can ship to. And also, guys, if you have any questions, please leave those in the comments. I'll get back to you as soon as possible. I'll see you guys next time.